I want to start this deep dive with 3 examples of human loyalty that, when you look at them, are completely irrational. Ready?
I'm intrigued. Go for it.
Okay, first, the line outside an Apple store. You see people waiting for hours, sometimes, camping out overnight, just for a phone that's a little bit better than the last one.
Hmm.
Second, the price. Why on earth would someone pay $200 for a pair of Nikes when, a $40 pair does the same basic job?
Right. It moves you from point A to point B.
Exactly. And maybe the most extreme one, Harley-Davidson riders, they don't just buy the bike, they tattoo the company's logo on their skin.
It's the ultimate brand commitment, isn't it? And what's so fascinating is if you try to analyze any of that with just logic, just product features, it makes absolutely no sense.
None.
The value isn't in the product itself, it's in the belonging.
That is the absolute core of what we're digging into today. We're unpacking this really radical insight from Patrick Hanlon's book, Primal Branding.
Mm-hmm.
His argument essentially is that the strongest brands, the ones that truly last, they aren't built like businesses. They're built like belief systems.
Exactly. Hanlon, he came from working with these massive brands, Amex, IBM, and he noticed that all the enduring systems, whether it's a religion, a political movement, a sports team, or Coca-Cola, they all share the same, psychological DNA.
He calls it the Primal Code.
The Primal Code. And when a business starts to intentionally build with that code, something almost magical happens.
Your customers stop being just buyers. They become believers. The act of buying something becomes a statement about who they are.
And look, the full Primal Code has 7 parts. There are things like heresy so, who you're fighting against, and the leader.
Which we're not going to get to all 7 today.
No. For this deep dive, we're focusing on the first 5. Because honestly, they're the most actionable for you, the listener. They're the true foundation.
And this is so important. The business result here isn't just some fuzzy feeling. It's about 2 huge metrics: pricing power and customer lifetime value, CLV.
That's the key. That's the whole game. When you belong to a tribe, switching brands isn't just a consumer choice anymore. It feels like you're switching your identity.
That's a huge psychological cost.
A huge cost.
Yeah.
So they don't care about a competitor's discount. They'll pay more, they stay with you for years, and they become your best salespeople.
So let's get into it. The 5 principles we're going to unpack are the creation story, the creed, rituals, sacred words, and icons.
Let's do it.
Okay, principle 1, the creation story. This is the bedrock. And I have to stress, this is not the boring slide in a PowerPoint that says, we were founded in 2015.
No, that distinction is everything. This is your brand's origin myth.
An origin myth.
It answers the big questions.
Yeah.
Who started it? Why did they start it? What was that moment of breakthrough? What was the struggle they had to overcome?
Every powerful story has that, right? From Genesis to the Declaration of Independence, there's always a struggle at the heart of it.
And it matters because we're just fundamentally wired for stories. We remember narratives. We forget facts and figures almost immediately.
But a story gives you something to feel.
Exactly. It creates an emotional connection before the rational brain can even put up its defenses. It answers that subconscious question everyone has. Why should I care about you?
And for a small business, this is actually a huge advantage. Your personal struggle is so much more authentic than anything a giant corporation could, cook up in a marketing meeting.
So much more real.
Let's do a quick compare and contrast. A coffee shop, bland version. We opened in 2020. We serve quality coffee.
I'm already bored.
Right. Forgettable. Now the compelling version. The owner was a corporate lawyer. Burnt out, 80-hour weeks, felt totally dehumanized.
Okay.
One day, he stops at this little cafe, and the owner knows his name, knows his order, and for just 5 minutes, he felt seen. He felt like a human being again.
That's the epiphany moment.
That's it. He quits his job 6 months later to build a space that is a direct rebellion against that soulless, dehumanizing work culture.
Now see, when a customer walks in, they're not just buying coffee. They're joining that rebellion. They're part of the story. And they're going to tell their friends that story.
We see this with consultants, too. The generic one says, I have 10 years of experience, the powerful one says.
I ran my family's restaurant into the ground.
Exactly. I almost went bankrupt because I didn't get it. I had to learn the hard way how to build systems from scratch. Now I teach you those systems so you don't have to make my mistakes.
That story is full of struggle and redemption. It builds instant trust. You're not just selling a service, you're selling a way to avoid the very pain you went through.
So the creation story sets the stage. It gives you the why. But a movement needs a doctrine. That brings us to principle 2, the creed.
The creed is all about what you stand for. These are your "we believe" statements. It's the line that separates us from them.
Which is where most businesses get scared.
Terrified. They make this fatal mistake of trying to be for everybody. And what happens is they end up meaning nothing to anybody. They fall back on these empty phrases like, "we value quality in service."
But isn't taking a stand risky? I mean, you're actively pushing some people away. Where's the line between having a belief and just, being aggressive?
That's a really good question. The line is authenticity. It's manipulation if the creed doesn't match the actual experience. But if it's real, it's just a filter.
A filter.
Yeah. You have to get comfortable with repelling people who don't share your values. They were never going to be your loyal fans anyway. You're trying to attract the fierce advocates, the people who say, "Finally, someone gets it."
Better to be loved by 100 believers than just to kind of tolerated by 1,000 skeptics.
100%. Look at a meal delivery service.
Yeah.
The generic version is, "we provide healthy meals."
Right. But with a creed, it becomes, we believe real food doesn't come from a factory. We believe farmers deserve a living wage. We believe mealtime is for family.
See, now you have a tribe that cares about ethics and family, and they will pay a premium for that because it affirms their own identity. It's not about convenience anymore.
Or in fitness, the generic trainer says, I believe in wellness, but the coach with a creed says, I believe the fitness industry is full of lies. I believe strength matters more than how you look. I don't count calories. I build capable humans.
That is a direct attack on the mainstream diet culture. A lot of people will walk away.
But the ones who are tired of that world, who've been waiting to hear that message.
They become fanatics. They're not just buying a workout plan, they're joining a counter movement.
Okay, so we have the origin story and we have the doctrine, the creation story and the creed. How do we make those things active? How does it become living behaviors?
That brings us to principle 3, rituals.
Rituals.
And this is key. We're not talking about like a mandatory process like logging into your account. A ritual is a voluntary behavior that reinforces your identity as part of the tribe.
So it's not something you have to do, it's something you choose to do.
You choose to do it because it says, I'm one of them. I'm the kind of person who does this. Think about fans tailgating before a game. Nobody makes them do it.
Right, it's part of the identity of being a fan.
And that's what makes rituals so powerful. They turn a single purchase into a habit, and a habit into part of your identity. Plus, when they're visible, outsiders get curious. They ask, hey, why do those guys always do that?
Let's go back to the coffee shop. The ritual isn't just ordering. It's, say, after you order your usual drink 10 times, you get your name put on a permanent mug that lives behind the counter.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's fantastic.
It's just for you.
So the act of getting the mug is a ceremony. And then seeing it there every morning, it reinforces, this is my place. You'd bring your friends just to show them your mug on the wall.
Exactly. Or for an online business, like a course. The ritual for graduation isn't just finishing. It's that you have to post a picture of your certificate on LinkedIn with a specific hashtag, like hashtag course name grad.
And then the company celebrates every single person who does it. So now people are rushing to finish, not just for the knowledge, but so they can participate in that public ritual of success.
And tied right into this is principle 4, sacred words. Basically developing your own language.
Yeah, your own insider vocabulary. It's an instant signal of membership. Think about Starbucks with Venti, or CrossFit with WD, or Apple with the I in front of everything.
When you use those words, you're signaling, I get it, I'm part of this.
And it protects you from being a commodity. You're not just selling coffee. You're selling a venti half-calf soy latte. You've created something unique that can't be easily compared on price.
So the complexity is actually a feature, not a bug.
It becomes a badge of honor. It shows you know the code.
For a business coach, instead of group sessions, they could be power sprints. Instead of a plan, it's a playbook.
Yes. Now the clients are sprint participants. The language itself changes the energy and makes the knowledge feel proprietary and more valuable.
Even our coffee shop could call it sizes cup, mug, and bowl instead of small, medium, large. It's unique, it's a talking point.
It changes the whole experience.
Okay, so that brings us to our 5th principle, icons. We've got the story, the belief, the action, and the language. What ties it all together so you can recognize it in a split second?
Icons are the brand's fingerprint. And there's so much more than just a logo, which is, where most people stop thinking.
Right.
An icon is any sensory trigger. It can be visual, like a color or a logo. It can be auditory, like the Apple startup sound or the rumble of a Harley. It can even be a smell or a texture, like the feel of a Tiffany box.
And the reason this matters is that icons work faster than words. They bypass our rational brain and hit us on an emotional memory level.
Instantly. You see that color, you hear that sound, and you just know. You feel something. And they make the brand portable. When someone wears your logo, they're a walking billboard for the tribe.
So consistency and distinctiveness are everything here.
You have to own that sensory space. Let's take our meal service. Instead of a boring brown box, they use a bright, vibrant orange for every single delivery.
So on delivery day, you see those orange boxes stacked up on porches all over the neighborhood.
It's free advertising. It's a visual icon that screams who they are. And then inside, maybe they add a handwritten note, a tactile icon. It's all part of that sensory signature.
Or the consultant. Instead of generic documents, what if everything they deliver is in a deep navy blue folder? Their physical frameworks are on navy blue cards.
Clients would start to recognize it instantly. Oh, that's the navy folder framework. It makes an abstract service feel tangible and memorable.
You can really see how all 5 of these things lock together. The story gives the meaning, the creed gives the belief, the rituals and words create the community, and the icons make it all recognizable.
It's a complete system, an architecture of belief.
And that can sound pretty overwhelming, like you have to build a whole cathedral from scratch. So before we wrap, we want to give you one thing you can do right now.
The first most important step.
Exactly. The single most powerful thing you can do is to finally articulate your creation story. So here's the challenge. Get a piece of paper right now and just write our creation story at the top. And don't try to make it sound polished.
I know corporate speak.
0. Ask yourself, why did I really start this? What was the struggle? What was the moment that changed everything for me?
Get to the emotional core of it. That's the real story.
Then just write it out, 3 or 4 sentences. The problem, the decision, and what you're building now because of it. Read it out loud. If it sounds like a press release, you're not being honest enough, rip it up and start again.
And then comes the real test.
Tomorrow, share that raw story with one person you trust. And just watch their reaction. If they lean in, if their eyes light up and they ask you questions, you've got it. You found something real.
That's the foundation. Nail that story today, and then you can start working on your creed tomorrow.
So if there's one big idea to take away from this entire deep dive, it's this. Great brands are not built like products. They are built like belief systems.
It's about using these primal elements to change a simple transaction into a statement of identity.
And look, this isn't about manipulation. It's not about tricking people. It's about tapping into a fundamental human need. People want to find meaning. They want to connect. They want to belong to something bigger than themselves.
So your competitors are going to keep focusing on features and benefits and fighting over price. They're trying to sell a better shoe.
But you now understand the game is different. The most powerful brands are building communities. They give people an identity to wear, a language to speak, and rituals to share.
Your creation story tells them why you matter. Your creed tells them what you fight for. Your rituals and sacred words make them feel like insiders. And your icons make your tribe unmistakable.
This isn't just a nice to have. This architecture of belief is the only way to build a business that can charge more and keep customers for life. So the final challenge from the source material is this. Your mission is not to build a business. It's to build a belief system. Don't just create buyers. Create believers.